The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. And when we talk about our code, we talk about choice, organization, direction, and education. And we help hundreds of advisors across the United States, including accountants, attorneys, CPAs, other insurance professionals. We're completely non-biased insurance wholesalers. We represent 30 different insurance companies. We are specialists in the areas of life insurance, annuities, disability, long-term care, and life settlements if you need to sell your policy. So these are the areas that we get into on a daily basis. We tailor the products to you, not you to the product. That's a big difference when you're dealing with people. And I wanted to go back. As part 2, last week we spoke about saving for retirement, or saving even when you're in retirement, about cutting your expenses down and your costs. Sometimes it's things that you're paying for that you shouldn't be. Sometimes it's credit interest rate that you shouldn't be. And this is all really important. But a topic I want to broach today is have a relationship with your bank. And if you don't have a relationship with your bank or your banker or your insurance person or your accountant, that's a problem. Now, I recently, I have different banks that handle my business, and I have personal banks that handle my personal thing. Truthfully, if you don't have your own business and you're dealing, some of the best banking relationships may be credit unions. I was very disenchanted when I went to a bank the other day. They've had a couple bank closures, this particular bank. I don't need to name the bank specifically. And the people working inside the bank basically said, oh, you can find that information online. You want to piss me off? Tell me I can go look online and find it. I'm not coming to the bank for you to tell me to go look online. I'm not coming for the bank for you to tell me, go use the ATM machine. What do I need you for? That's not the kind of banking relationship you need. You need a relationship, if you have credit debt and everything else, somebody to talk to and say, what are my options? And if that bank is not helpful to you or credit union is not helpful to you, go somewhere else, move your accounts, go to a relationship that will work with you and help you solve problems. The same goes for your life insurance. The same goes for your investments. The same goes for your accounting. Unfortunately, we're in an AI world where everybody's going to the computer, and nowadays they're trying to push you into doing everything online or have things come directly out of your account that you don't know what's going on. You need to take control of your own life. You need to take control of your credit. You need to take control of your checking accounts. You need to take control of your savings accounts. You need to take control of your investments. It's a lot to think about on a daily basis, plus everything else. Don't have all the burden of thinking about all these things by yourself. You need to have a team of professionals that help you in all these different aspects. So, if you listened to my show last week and I told you about going through your checking account, going through your savings account, paying off your credit cards, which is so vital, having a strategy to pay them off, or if you need to negotiate lower rates to save you money, to put money back in your pocket, that's the goal here, and you don't have somebody at your bank that can assist you and help you look at these things, or a credit counselor, find another bank, find somebody else. Period. End of story. If your bank closed, they said, oh, just do everything online, that's the first chance I get to run like hell and move my account. Because you don't need anybody holding your money that's not going to be there responsible for you. The same thing about buying life insurance. I've said it over and over again. If you're going to buy online from a company, you don't know the name of the company, you don't know who that person is, you don't know if you're ever going to be able to make a claim down the road, then you're wasting your money. You're actually hurting yourself. You need professionals to help you in every aspect. And don't be afraid to ask. You know, the biggest problem I have, and I talk about my kids a lot, they're 35 and 36, and they're both doing very well. But they have a tendency, and they were taught to learn things on their own. They were taught to go to the computer, go on Google, look it up, go on ChatGPT, figure it out. But at some point, they're very resistant to asking for help. I'm going to invest on my own. I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to do that. The bank tells you, go to the ATM, go there. The insurance companies go, oh, you can look it up online. I can't tell you how frustrated I am on a daily basis when people don't get back to me. We're in a people world. Don't forget it. If you allow the computers to take over your life, then the day you need help, good luck. It's a problem. I have attorneys reaching out to me every single day. My client's spouse has died. They can't find their life in policies. Can you help? Well, what companies did they buy it from? I can find out a lot of things because I'm in that business. I can speak to insurance companies. Let me tell you something. Most of the insurance companies we do business with are trying to go as much to the computers as possible, just like the banks. Everybody thinks they're saving money by hiring crews in the Philippines or in India to do medical underwriting, to follow processing paperwork, to do this, to do that, and banks do the same thing. And the cable vision, you don't get somebody. I had somebody call me at 12:30 at night one night during a hurricane trying to fix my cable. Really? What time is it there in India? Oh, it's 9 a.m. Well, great. It's 12:30 at night here. Do you think I really want you calling me on the phone right now? I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm in the middle of a hurricane. Are you aware of that? No, I don't live anywhere near you. Oh, I didn't. I know that. Well, thank you. That's not what you need. When you need help with your finances, you need local experts to help you, and you need somebody that's going to be there for you when you have an issue. You know, we've had people in the past on shows. There are lawyers that go after claims and do this. You don't have to do that if you have the right professionals along the way. And part of that is having a good banking relationship, having an insurance relationship, having an investment relationship with people who know who you are and know what they're doing. And if you don't have the right relationships and you need help, give me a call. Please. Give me a call and I'll help set them up for you. So you have those relationships. If your local bank closes and another bank closes, why are you still with the same bank? What do you want to drive a half hour to do a banking relationship? If you go to the bank and there's nobody there that can help you. I walked into a bank to open up a new business account. And, the new business manager isn't here. Oh, you have to make an appointment. Oh, really? I said, why don't I go across the street to another bank? And they said, okay. Guess what? I'm not doing business with that bank anymore. That's all you need to tell me is let me walk out the door and I'm walking. Okay? You need to work with people that are going to work with you. It's very simple. You are the boss of your money. You are the boss of your finances. You are the boss of what happens. Don't let anybody tell you go to a computer or go look it up or go call this 1-800 number because you've now lost me. And I get this all day long. And I'm tired of it, and I hope that you are too, and I hope you know that you do have people you can call. You can give me a call, and I will help you on the process. So, last week I was very adamant about saving money in retirement or saving money for retirement by A, getting rid of your credit card debt, B, investing in yourself and do it on an automatic basis, whether it's in your own 401k or IRA, or if you have extra money or you don't have a retirement plan, buy life insurance on a weekly or monthly basis, long-term care protection, whatever you need to do, or an annuity on a monthly basis. You put that money away so you don't see it, and that's how you accumulate money and wealth. And you're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. Give me a call anytime, 631-647-4694. Thank you, and we'll be right back after a commercial break. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm very happy to have with us in the second segment Tom Schiliro, who has a regular live show every day, right? Monday through Friday?
Every day, Monday through Friday. And Neil, I've been listening to your show for, you've been a while now. You've been doing this.
Yeah.
And how valuable is that, some of the advice that you're giving for people to call you? Because it is happening right now. We just got through 4 years of an administration that saw interest rates going up. People couldn't pay for their food. They couldn't pay. Many people were using credit cards in order to pay a car payment.
Yeah,
and they were bouncing it. And we saw credit card debt. The last time I announced it on my show was almost $1.75 trillion in debt in this country by the use of credit card. And now we're all sitting back, including myself, saying, hey, got to do something. So the services that you offer and what you're able to do is incredible. And I think people should, and I know you're giving your number out over here, Neil, and it's important for people to give you a call. People are hurting here on Long Island.
Yeah.
I could tell you that.
Absolutely. Credit card debt is probably the worst thing in the world, and you really need a strategy to get rid of it. And I think people are misled when they see, okay, I'm going to get this on sale for 30% off.
Yes.
They put it on their credit card, and they end up paying maybe 100 or 200% more than they would have paid if they just bought the thing at regular price.
But what about these inflationary times that we went through? What happened is, people have budgets, as you know. You talk to people all the time. Right. Very successful man that you are, Neil, and I certainly appreciate you,
that.
Being here at LI News Radio. And so inflation rates are going up. Well, they were going up all that time. So people said, I'm a little short here on Friday, and they get paid on Friday. So what do? They use their credit cards in order to make up for the shortfall, thinking it's going to be temporary. But we went through a high inflationary period. We saw gasoline prices going up.
Yep.
We saw the food markets were outrageous.
Absolutely.
And again, it wasn't the debit cards people were pulling out anymore because they didn't have any money in their checking accounts in order to cover it.
Right.
So they were using credit cards. So here we are now after 4 years of what I would say a bad economy when it came to inflation and increased prices.
Yep.
And Americans were caught using that little card there that is causing them a lot. So what happened? I think I would like to ask you that. What happens now?
So the biggest thing I would do today is go through your checking account or savings account, take a month statement, and look through all your expenses and what are you spending money for. And I can tell you, I know a lot of young people are using apps. They're using apps for their phone. Okay, I'm playing this game. Here's $5. Here's $20. You don't realize it could be $200-$300 a month in just nonsense stuff that we're spending on needless stuff, plus interest on our credit debt, which is ridiculous, as is our government. Yeah. But that's a whole nother can of worms. I know you talk about that every day.
All the time.
And we're paying interest on our interest, and that's the problem. But there are so many miscellaneous things that we can remove from what we're paying monthly that we forget about because we're not checking our own stuff. That's number one, is check that stuff. Number two is you need a strategy to pay down that credit card debt. Mm-hmm. You really need a strategy.
Yeah.
And if you're just paying the minimum, you'll never catch up. And never, ever, ever. So what I like to do is out of my paycheck and everything else, and I've done this personally because there was a time in my life that I got in bad credit card debt, and my credit rating was horrible. and I check Credit Karma. I mean, there's lots of other services. It's a free service. And I'm not doing an advertisement for Credit Karma. There's other ones, Experian and this and that, or Credit, whatever. But at least it tells me, hey, maybe I'm paying for something I didn't know. Or B, I look at my account and say, hey, I've been paying for a service I used one time, but it's $24.95 a month. How do I get off this thing?
That's important.
And that's huge. So those are the two things. And if you can't, and you're in this debt spiral, seek a credit card counselor. There's credit counselors the government offers. I know for housing and everything else, there's counselors that can maybe help you look at this, but seek outside help. Don't let it all fester on your own head and bury yourself. Yeah.
But it's I found it to be confiscatory because I look at my credit card bills and I'll get one in $395 for the credit card bill. Then you realize that close to $200 is interest.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's terrible.
You might as well go to the local mafia when you really think about
terrible.
How much money that is.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a need right now in our economy for folks like yourself to straighten people out, because when you look at that number and you could see, I'm paying that in interest. It's similar to our $36 trillion in debt that we're paying as a country, and what every American would owe, man, woman, and child, it's like $175,000 we would owe the federal government in order to bring our debt down to zero.
Right.
We pay more in interest payments on that $36 trillion in debt than we do in our national defense.
Every day, which is why, from a global standpoint, I don't see interest rates coming down. Because a lot of our debt is in U.S. Treasuries, and U.S. Treasury yield probably at 4.4, 4.5 right now. The 10-year yield is what I look at. And the reason I look at the 10-year yield is because mortgages are based off the 10-year yield. It's not off the Fed rate. Everybody thinks it's the Fed rate. It's really off the Treasury notes. And who owns the Treasury notes? India, China, Japan. Japan already pulled out a lot, okay? We get in one of these global discussions, and they say, you know what? We don't want this debt anymore. Then what's going to happen is it drives that yield up as people pull out. So as they sell off, we have to drive that yield up to attract more foreign money besides our own debt. It's a debt spiral, like our own personal debt spiral. So we have to be very conscious of that. The other thing I recommended, and I mentioned this last week, you may have bought a car at a dealer and they shop a rate for you. That dealer puts in like 2 points.
Yes.
And what I tell people is go to your own bank afterwards or shop it later. You can refinance that. I had this discussion with my daughter the other day. You can refinance your car loan? She didn't know you could refinance your car loan. Yeah. Yes, you can.
A lot of people don't.
But you know what? That could be the difference of $500 a month to $300 a month. That could be $200 a month right there.
That's great advice. That is great. You know, a lot of people don't realize when they go to a car dealership to buy, let's say it's a new car dealership, but they have the used cars on the market there. They'll give you a price. You'll negotiate a price thinking you got a good number on the car, and we're going to take care of the financing for you. What they don't realize is that the bank will give a number to that dealership. They add percentage points on the loan.
They want you to borrow money.
But a lot of people don't know that.
No,
so now you're saying, well, I got a used car loan. I got 8%, which is not bad at 9%. The bank may have given the dealership 4%.
Correct.
Could you imagine how much money that is for every car they sell?
Oh, they want to finance it. They don't want you to pay cash.
Exactly.
No. They'll give you a lower price if you finance it.
That's all negotiable.
100%.
Yeah, amazing.
100%.
I've seen that millions of times.
But these are the kind of things, if you're tight on money and you're running into credit card debt, you really got to fine tune and look at these things and say, am I doing right? Is this the right thing? And you got to build up your credit. And like I said, I follow, like to say, a Credit Karma. At least I know where I'm heading. Yeah. And I play the game. And I say, okay, how do I make this thing better? So if you're paying 30% on a credit card, you're never going to get out of that if you're just paying the minimum.
No.
It's only going to compound like our debt. Right. Like our national debt, it's going to compound, and it just compounds.
Now, you think if the Fed lowers the rate, I know we don't have much time, but if the Fed lowers the rate, Trump is twisting arms. I wish I could fire him. My pal he's talking about. Is that going to help us?
No. Because the rate that we pay on mortgages is based on the Treasury rate, not the Fed rate. The Fed rate is only a rate that they loan banks to. So that's what the Fed rate does, is this is the loan rate to the bank back and forth. So the bank borrows money, and people don't understand this. Banks love credit cards. Not only do they love credit cards, The problem with the banks last year, let's say, when we had problems with Signature Bank and some of the other banks, is they had so much money out there at these 2 and 3% mortgages, and the Fed rate got higher than the mortgage rate.
That's right.
And they don't hold reserves. The bank only has to hold 8% of the money you put in, even a CD or anything else.
Wow.
So you put in $100,000, they only have to hold $8,000. What do they do with the rest? They lend it out to schmucks like the guy down, excuse my language, down the street at 30%.
Yeah.
So they take your money that you think is going in savings and they lend it out 100 times. That's how banks make money. So when that Fed rate went way down and they have all these reserves in mortgages, that's why the Capital Ones of the world that just do credit cards really make out in this economy. The banks that were doing a lot of mortgages, the ones that really got hurt because they were in these low interest mortgages, and that's why the banking crisis occurred.
I want to say, Neil, you perform an excellent service in these very difficult times. Give your phone number out again.
Thank you.
Call.
631-647-4694. Thank you so much for
call
doing
Neil. I'm telling you, I'm nervous just talking about this.
Oh, great. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend.
The views and opinions